Hi there, it's Kate in the Nest Time, and I'm so glad that you can join me right now. I hope you've got a cup of tea or coffee, maybe even a wine or something, depending on what time of the day it is, wherever you are. This is a Roxy Journal of Stitchery video because I can't actually stop stitching summer, and I think it's time to have some summer on one of my quilt blocks as well. But before I start into doing a little bit more stitching, I think you know that part of this absolute fun, delightful thing that we do is that I am using it as a memory keeper. That even though I have now lots of different pieces of fabric in my work, that I truly try to remember, and I'm actually going to start inspired by Rachel, I'm going to start a journal with my some stitches in it. I'm just leaning over here because these are my field notes journals that I still have that haven't flown the nest, and I'm actually going to think about next step is claiming one of the, oh look at the Australian kookaburras, claiming one of these as my own and adding the pieces that I'm stitching in summer. And even though spring has passed and bulbs have passed, I've actually picked up some more pieces of daffodils and bulbs that I didn't have before. So just so inspiring, this work. Okay, so that's the piece that I was working on with butterflies, and thank you for the lovely comments. Before we look at both pieces of stitching, I have to say that I feel like I was going to say the luckiest person, and I am the luckiest person. Today I've been to Sydney to see my mum, to have special time with her, and of course she had some things for me, and we just had this lovely time, which you'll hear more about over the next few videos. I went to the sewing basket, both in Newington and in Balmain, and picked up some special pieces for some projects that I'm working on. And then I arrived home. I knew my husband was coming home tonight, and I was expecting him still in a few hours. And I parked the car and the front door opened, and I got a little bit scared, and there he was. He had surprised me by coming home early. He tricked me because we talked on the phone and I said, oh, you're a few hours behind me. We had a lovely catch up, a cup of coffee, and then he produced, I'm a little bit emotional again. He has surprised me because while he's been away, and when he hasn't had, if he's had a spare minute, he has gone to places to find me treasures. Now, how could anyone even expect that, let alone receive this incredible bunch of doilies embroideries selected by, I'm just going to say it, by a man. And he sat with me as I went through every single one. And he goes, oh, I wasn't sure about that one. And it's just been this joyous experience. So I'm going to share the joy, because that's what I've said. This piece isn't embroidered, but it's I don't know what you call that, but it's coloured in. But look at the work. And for me, these, look, they're my flowers, my colours. This is, I hope I'm right, an Australian lyrebird. Flowers, and then 1, 2 other little pieces. And I said, honey, did you look at it? He said, Kate, it was about the hunt. He said it didn't matter for me, the cost. I didn't even think about that. So he explained that he went into every Vinnie's and Op shops and said, my wife collects embroideries with stitches on it. And they helped him out. Now, isn't this a wonderful story of just support? And I know I'm blessed. So this one, I'll come to standing up because I'll stitch in a minute. A little table cloth. I'm collecting roses at the moment for some projects. And look at that, 4 with these beautiful clusters on the corner. And this is all the learning. He actually said, Kate, maybe we should go on a trip and we could go in the country or out for a day and just stop all along. So I've got him hooked. And he said to me, I said, this is a tablecloth. He said, oh, I could have got a lot more tablecloths, but I thought you only wanted doilies. So stay tuned. All right. I just gasped. So I'm not going to take the whole video, and I know so many of us can't get these things easily, and certainly we were having that conversation that in my local area, very, very difficult to pick up pieces now. So he was quite a long way out, and I just love this. I think it's going to be the center of my very, very vintage vessel, I think. Look at that, love it. Kate has never used these colors, and suddenly I think that's divine, because it is divine. Basket of flowers. Look at this piece. I loved it. I said, this is beautiful. And I think this is something that would go really nicely with my quilt. And in fact, let's bring this block over. This is the least worked block because it hasn't got anything on it. So we're going to have a look at that together. And I'm thinking that this goes perfectly. And he had no idea about that. These little ones that we use in needle books, thanks to Beck's imagination and encouragement, and her, yes, how beautifully she uses them. So love that. Is this the same? Oh, okay, I didn't even realize. So there were 2 of those little baskets. This one, as I said, I have a lovely, lovely lady who loves roses, so I'm collecting as many as I can for a piece for her. So look at the value on that, and just beautiful stitching, absolutely beautiful. And my husband didn't even know I was collecting roses. This one's interesting because I think we've all seen lots of cutout work like this, but it has the pale, the pastels. So that is going straight away into my very, very vintage project, which you'll see more of in the future. Here's another one that I found unusual. Look at that. He said, oh, I liked the violets. And I said, so do I. So I think that one's very old and beautiful. And it's on a light cotton. Look at those violets going round and round and round. This one, he said, oh, I wasn't sure. And I said, he said, but for $2, I took a risk. I said, there's no risk involved there. Look at that. We know it's not hand stitched, but these as cutouts are absolutely beautiful. And these are birds in the center. So as a centerpiece on my, in fact, maybe one day in Roxy's we'll have birds because we're up to butterflies and bugs. I can just, or on my tablecloth, I can just see that going. 2 little sweet, which is the right way for these. Yeah, again, very vintage project. Is calling. These are Kate's colours. Look at that. So all picked out by my lovely husband. So he looked at me and he said, Kate, you look like Christmas. And I said, it is Christmas. Like, I get the same thrill, and I'm sure you do as well, when you discover something. And you had to go to lots of shops, but to have these gifted to me is just, and chosen by him is, I know how lucky I am. Oh, okay, so these have become split up. So this is the big piece, that these two little ones go with. Oh, I feel better about that they're all still together and that they can, yeah, work in a piece. And then this is when he said I could have got a whole lot more of these. I said, honey, this is a tablecloth. He went, oh, because he didn't open it out. He said, I just saw the flowers and thought of you. So here we go, everyone. Look at these. And this is, I think it was Christine who was talking about this velvety effect that you can get. But this is the finest stitching that feels like it's become velvet. So tablecloth, flowers there, and these look like little strawberries along the side. So bunches of those in every single corner. Just divine. And the cotton is absolutely beautiful. So that will stay together and join my collection of beautiful tablecloths, and it might end up on the next Journal of Stitchery flower to flower quilt. Who knows? So I hope that's given you, oh yeah, and the other final one before we get to our stitching is, look at this. It's got butterflies on it in the week of butterflies and bugs. There's that little divine piece of crochet. Okay, I just feel, because I've been in the shops, in the car all day, and I've come back to such treats, that it won't be a long video, but I would love to do some stitching with you, and we will just see what happens. So this look, those of you who don't know, this, my block, I won't make any promises. This is going to be the, what number is this? 9, I think this might be. Here's my numbering. 7, 8, 9. So this is going to be the top left-hand corner of my slow stitched quilt. And this is here because it's going to be framed, and on the bottom block is the tablecloth here. You'll get it when it's all in context. So deliberately, this piece does have a sense of direction. Top corner, this piece of the whole tablecloth coming down, and I know it looks plain compared to my other work, but this is why I never get bored. I have not lost the doily, I've just put it there. Okay. So I'm just thinking about, I wonder whether this is one that we could use whole, and then that would help people who worry about the cutting. Actually, it's going to be too big. So just, have I asked you how you are? Probably not. I've just been steaming along with happiness. But I am thinking about you all. Welcome to my new subbies, and to those who, wherever you join me and whenever, you are so welcome. Okay, so quickly, I was just going to say, every piece of tablecloth is backed with a piece of blanket that I've just, invisible stitched very roughly down, and we're just going to be working. So I don't think I can fit both, but what I might do is actually use half of this doily on this one and this part on the block on the other side, if that makes sense. And that again will build that sense of they belong together. So we're going to do some harvesting. Looks like receiving a bunch of flowers. Well, it is. It's receiving multiple flowers. And no flowers get destroyed in the making of this. They just find a new home. And I just love that these have been in little tiny hobby shops with a story behind them, and they have been rescued by probably not your expected customer. They've come home to me in the Highlands today, and now they're being shared with people all over the world. So how about that for a story? A happy ending or a happy beginning. That's so beautiful. Okay, so this quilt is flower to flower. Yep, I feel this is the right way. I've got a purple flower there, a little bit of pink, a bit of purple there. I think that's gorgeous. So, I mean, I'm sure sometimes people think, is Kate really for real? But how is it possible that I have, in my delight of sharing that with you, lost the pin cushion with the threaded needle? Did I show you that one? I just have to divert attention, and we can always thread another one, but I do want to give a shout out to all my subbies who are telling me whether they've lose things on their desks and craft tables or have control over them. And to Carol, I'm hoping you find your little needle book, but I'm proud of you that you know where your bits are. Maybe it's because I've been stitching till way too late at night. Maybe. All right, so plan B is find another needle. See, nothing is ever a problem when we're slow stitching and talking with friends. Let's put this in here. I might go quiet again because it's just bliss. I've got dinner in the oven. I've received really, yeah, just been so lovely a day, and I just value every moment and second. So this is a running stitch, nothing special, because I'm just basically appliquing this down because I need to fill up a lot of space on this piece. So we'll go around the top. So I'm sharing my approach. We'll put this flower to flower on the top, but we will not sew down the bottom because I'll probably put something under here. So we'll have a look at the rest of those bits and pieces and see what we can add on. I mean, haven't the projects that are emerging in Field Notes amazing? And I have to say, I think Summer Wildflowers and now with Butterflies is just an incredibly good choice of prompts. So well done, Rachel and Sarah, because I think you've set us all on fire. Our imaginations are going wild. I haven't answered any comments today because I've been away, but I quickly whizzed through them. And I think, Carol, you said you'd made a bee, is that right? Already. Oops. So it does look like I've been in a lot of oppie shoppies lately, and that is true. I've got 2 weeks today to finish my very vintage project. So that's my priority at the moment. But as I said, it's lovely to come back to colours and different themes when the prompts come out. Okay, so that's down like that. We've got the violet to the violet. So we've got some pink flowers here. Let's go back to today's harvesting and see if anything matches yet. Well, there's a lovely, would it be as easy as that, everyone? I was going to say that one could even stay whole. Then I'd have to do a lot of embroidery in here. Let's just feel. Oh, that's lovely and soft. Can't use that. I think I'll save the roses. I don't think the lyrebird, not ready for the birds yet. That's the other piece. I must put that in the nest. What else have we got? Oh, we have got these beautiful ones. We have got, look at that for an edging. It's like 3 little petals. I'm thinking it's this one and this one, because that, if we look here, we've got the yellow flower there. And what if we, yep, okay. I think it's also beautiful as I hold them in my hands to consider whether there was a pattern underneath or whether people have done their designs freehand or straight from their mind's eye. This one I think was a design, because I can see like it's incredibly finely stitched, but I would be thinking that there was a design line around that first. And because I don't, oh, I could use, in fact, see, I was going to say I don't need that brown, but I can embroider a flower or put another flower over there. Okay, so happy already. So there we are. We've got the yellow coming to the yellow and bringing us down to this. It's not vine to, this one is not so much vine to vine, but it's ending up like that. And then that, should it go this way? just stand up. Oh, I've got my batteries running low. Okay, it's often good just to get a height. Remember, this is palest pink, this tablecloth. So my question is, do we wind these flowers back that way? I think we do. So we've got these twirly whirlies. So I think I will. I'm going to commit to that because that feels just right to me. And this one, I think we will. If this had had embroidery at both ends, I would have kept it for a needlebook. But because it has and these greens are all different greens, but that doesn't, that I think that adds to the garden. All right, so there we go. Do I need to, I'll take that pin to go here. Where's my, it's too long away to use that, so I'll just, to bring it under to here, I will just put that under. Moment. I've started to think about what backing I will use, and I was thinking about a sheet, and so I don't know, I think I'll have to find a king sheet or a queen sheet, but if I find the right one, it even entered my head that I could do a little bit on the back, but really I'm using up so many flowers that I probably won't do that, so I'll find something joyful to go on the back, but I'm a fair way away from that point. These are the things you think about when you in the car. And because I stitched late in bed last night, working on my biggest, very, very vintage nest, which I'm absolutely loving because it's all in the natural colours and it's getting so big as well as floppy. Once I got tired and I went to sleep, I realised when I woke up that I had been dreaming of layer upon layer of patterns and flowers. Does that happen to you? I think it's absolutely wonderful because it means I used to have a lot of trouble sleeping because I had a stressful job, and I would wake up every morning to a lot of emails, and in my first waking thought for me, for the last little while was, how am I going to get through the day? How am I going to get all of that done? And the fact that now I wake up and know and can recall the dreams about embroidering flowers is just think that's heaven. So I'm wishing you all happy dreams tonight. We often talk about how incredible dreams are and whether you can remember them or not. I think, isn't one of the famous questions, do you dream in black and white or colour? Well, I can certainly tell you that I'm dreaming in colour at the moment. So these, so this is just an crochet cotton in ecru, I think we call it. I suppose I'm using it almost like an I'm not invisibly stitching, but it's certainly not a feature at this point. That's because other things will happen to it. Now, while I was doing that, did I move that pen? Yeah. Where was that flower meant to be? Not too far away. Let's go take that one out yet. Yep. My stitch is getting bigger because I've got a sense that I should hurry. So I'm just going to slow myself down because there's no need to hurry. I would like to look at my summer piece, my accordion journal as well. So I think we'll leave that one there so you can see that this looks very wild on here, but that will work. And just this positioning of growing the garden that really started out just like that, and we've added 1, 2, 3 pieces, and flower to flower it's looking like a garden already. Very happy with those pieces, so that will probably get stitched on tonight. And for a contrast, just to finish us off and to finish the week off, let's see if we can, was there something really bright? Which way? Oh, wildflowers here. This little part here, I was doing some work there. Is there a piece from today's collection? Would go, oh, maybe not. I'm going to save the birds for the birds. Oh, that's right, I do love. Could I? Of course I could, is the answer, but how much? Because I can put these on and embroider, you see. Just pause for the pink scissors. Here they are. So just remember, this isn't embroidered. I'm going to keep the lyrebirds. This is it's got actually a thick cotton edge on it that I'll leave for the moment. I don't think this will all stay together because it's quite large as one group of flowers. And I already know that that bottle brush up there won't fit, so I'm going to go around these. And in here. So someone might be able to tell me, is this, was this something that people have done recently? Actually, that leaf there and round there has been embroidered. So is there a thing where you buy, who knows? So if you know some stories about this sort of piece, I would love to learn, because I haven't seen anything like it. I'm afraid that crochet is going to go from this piece, but to be used elsewhere. I just love the idea that I've got this embroidery here. And remember, I was adding, I've got the cross stitch there. That's what that lady didn't like me covering up the cross stitch. Okay. I'm going to do a few amendments. I'll leave these as a separate little entity. pretty. Yeah, so that might bring some of the orange and things down. Something's telling me these belong close to there. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to focus on these very happy flowers, and we're going to use them in that space. I don't want to lose that little red flower, so let's just harvest away a little bit more. Oh yes, so they're like growing out of the gingham. Yep, I like that very much. So I'm going to just pin that in place because I can see the lights fading. Put this over here, so that whole idea of now we're going to join the yellow to the red, so that one piece has already inspired lots of thought. So there's the butterfly in the garden. I don't know what colour I want to leave you with. I'm just thinking, I'm worried that it's dark and that you can see this. So that's me for now. I've had such a fun, and I'm now going to relax a little while and have dinner. Until next time, thank you so much for joining me. This is Kate in the Nest. Bye.